Hey, Canucks Nation, Brandon Alston here, play-by-play for the Edmonton Canucks. You've got it locked on the line change, the Vancouver Canucks podcast.
Welcome to the Line Change post-game show. And for once, we're reacting to a Canucks win, a huge one at that. As you can see, Canucks defeat the Colorado Avalanche, or some could say they defeated the Quebec Nordiques by a score of 8-6. Lots of goals in this game, lots of stuff to talk about in this game. The worst team in the league beats the best team in the league. So, and of course, with those 8 goals, a certain somebody happened to get a hat trick in this one. It was Brock Boeser, who's now at 21 goals on the season, and he gets a hat trick here tonight against Colorado, the third goal being into the empty net. Let's not waste any more time. Let's dive into the goals here right now. For those that are here, thank you for being here, as always. But let's take a look at this, go all the way back to the top. Of course, this one started out pretty quickly. 29 seconds into the game, Max Sasson scoring his 12th of the season, assisted by Filip Hronek and Z Buyam. I did not actually catch this goal, but let's take a look at the visualizer here. Pass, Buyam with the puck over to Hronek. Hronek moves it up ice. Great pass over to Sasson, who buries it past Mackenzie Blackwood. And of course, the Avalanche would, of course, tie it up a minute and 22 seconds into the first period. None other than Nathan MacKinnon scoring his 50th of the season, assisted by Taves and Malinsky's. Not one bit surprised to see Nathan MacKinnon get in on the score sheet on this one, considering the type of player he is and the type of season he has had. So let's take a look at this. I believe that's Taves over to MacKinnon. Manages to swerve around both Rossi and Filip Hronek there, and is able to bury it past Lankinen. Moving on to the next goal, we have Teddy Blueger scoring a shorthanded goal, his 7th of the season, assisted by Ogren. And what a beautiful pass from Ogren on this one. You guys will see in a sec on the visualizer at 5:21. This made it 2-1 for Vancouver. Let's take a look at this one. As you can see, Ogren is able to bounce it off the boards to himself, beat out MacKinnon. Nice little feed over to Blueger, and he buries it past Mackenzie Blackwood. Beautiful goal and beautiful feed from Liam Ogren on that one. Moving forward, we had Jake DeBrusk scoring his 17th of the season on the power play at 11:38 of the second period, assisted by Elias Pettersson and Marco Rossi. Let's take a look at this one. See, Rossi with the puck there, over to Hronek, over to Boeser, back to Rossi, over to Elias Pettersson, who is able to shoot it, and DeBrusk is able to tip it in. So beautiful goal there from Jake DeBrusk. Gabriel Landeskog would score his 12th of the season at 16:05, assisted by Burns and Nishushkin. That pulled the Avalanche within 1. Another tip-in shot. I can see puck goes around the boards. Forget who number 11 is, but then there's Landeskog, number 92, right there. And he is able to tip it in past Lankinen. That is all the goals from the first period. So it was like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals alone in the first period. We move over to the second period, and Blueger scores his 2nd of the night at 5:02 of the second period, assisted by Sasson and Marcus Pettersson. Let's take a look at the visualizer for that one. So here, Blueger intercepts the puck there. Sasson crosses over, passes over to Blueger, and Blueger is able to, with a nice little, just able to squeeze it past Mackenzie Blackwood. This one I did catch on the TV, and Blackwood is probably going to wanted that one back. But at the end of the day, it was a goal for the Vancouver Canucks. Fast forward, Brock Boeser scoring his 19th of the season at 9:42. That made it 5-2 for Vancouver, assisted by Valander and Marco Rossi. Let's take a look at this one. As you can see here, Rossi moves the puck up. A little bit of a battle there, and Rossi is able to regain the puck, feeds it over to Valander, who feeds it over to Boeser, who has a wide open net and is able to bury it. And once again, Boeser would score his 20th of the season at 15:21. of the second period. That made it 6-2 Vancouver, assisted by Drew O'Connor. So Besser manages to get to 20 goals, as we mentioned already. Drew O'Connor with it. Back to Besser, who brings it up ice, crosses over, and is able to fire it past Blackwood. Amazing goal from Brock Besser. Once again, he gets to 20 goals on the season. At 15:43, Sam Malinsky would score to make it 6-3, and that was assisted by Devon Taves. Take a look at this one. Obviously, the puck is behind the net here. She can't see the puck. Then back to Taves, who moves it over to, I believe that's Malinsky's, who shoots it. And there was a bit of a screen in front of Lankinen there, so you can't really blame Lankinen too much on that one. But moving to the third period, Parker Kelly scores his 19th of the season, just 14 seconds into the third period to make it 6-4, assisted by Jack Drury and Manson. Now this one, Lankinen definitely wants back, as you will see from the goal visualizer that he, Parker Kelly comes in almost from the faceoff dot, shoots it past Lankinen. Lankinen probably should have had that one, but I digress on that. And then you had Brent Burns scoring his 11th of the season at 13:21. That pulled the Avalanche within one. Brock Nelson assisting his 29th of the season, and Nishushkin with his 30th assist. This one, another screen in front of Lankinen, as you'll see here. Puck moves over. Puck moves around the net. I believe Burns is number 84, and he just does a little one-timer. And, of course, as you can see from the traffic there, Lankinen did not see it, and that pulled the Avalanche within one. And then Sam Malinsky would score again, his 7th of the season at 13:58. That tied up the game. See here, there's over to McKinnon. And I believe I believe it went off maybe DPD, and that's why it was unassisted. So let me know in the chat if that is correct. Then Marcus Pettersson would score his 2nd of the season at 14:21, assisted by Besser and Drew O'Connor. So puck is deep into the Colorado end. You see here Rossi and O'Connor here battling for the puck here. Besser manages to get it out over to Marcus Pettersson, and he's able to score, and that put the Canucks up by 1. And of course, that ended up being the game-winning goal. Brock Besser would score his hat-trick goal, his 3rd of the night, 21st of the season, assisted by Marcus Pettersson into an empty net at 18:31. That made it 8-6 Vancouver, as you'll see from here. Devon Taves with it, over to McKinnon, who has a great chance, and then Besser is able to get it and just fires it into the open net, and that is how she wrote in the end there. Let's take a look at the stats, the box score. We'll take a look at how everyone did. Starting off with Brock Besser, of course, a 4-point night for him. 3 goals and 1 assist. He was a +2. 18 minutes and 57 seconds of ice time, 4 shots. Drew O'Connor, 2 assists and a +2. 12 minutes and 43 seconds of ice time, 3 shots, 1 block, 2 hits. Niels Höglander, a -1, 6 minutes and 57 seconds of ice time with 1 shot, 1 hit. Elias Pettersson, who had an assist, he was a +1, 20 minutes and 4 seconds of ice time with 1 shot, 1 hit. I did see he had more than 1 shot attempt, but he only had 1 shot on goal. Curtis Douglas, a -1, 6 minutes and 18 seconds, but with 5 shots on goal, 3 hits. Teddy Bluger with the 2 goals here tonight, 19 minutes and 48 seconds of ice time with 2 shots. Atu Ratu, 11 minutes and 52 seconds of ice time with 1 shot, 2 blocks, 3 hits. Max Sasson with a goal and an assist. He was a -1, 15 minutes and 18 seconds of ice time with 2 shots and 1 block. Jake DeBrusk with a goal here tonight, 17 minutes and 2 seconds of ice time. I believe that was, let me see here, 3 shots on goal and then 1 block. Then Liam Ogren with an assist, 17 minutes and 15 seconds of ice time with 1 shot and 2 blocks. Marco Rossi, 2 assists here tonight. He was a +1, 13 minutes and 36 seconds of ice time with 2 hits. And then Linus Karlsson was a -1, 16 minutes and 59 seconds of ice time with 1 shot. Looking at the defense, Tom Willander with an assist, +2, 18 minutes and 57 seconds of ice time, 1 block, 2 hits. P.O. Joseph, who was back in the lineup, -2, 11 minutes and 1, so about 11 minutes of ice time. And then Filip Hronek, 1 assist, -1, 28 minutes and 48 seconds of ice time, 1 block, 1 hit. Zibuya, 1 assist, a -2, 15 minutes and 48 seconds of ice time. DPD was a +1, 17 minutes and 31 seconds of ice time, 1 shot, 2 blocks, 3 hits. Marcus Pettersson with a 3-point night, a very rare 3-point night, and a +4. That is quite to see, a +4 next to Marcus Pettersson's name, 25 minutes and 7 seconds of ice time, 1 shot, 3 block, 3 hits. Could you say that this may have been Marcus Pettersson's best game as a Vancouver Canuck in this one after seeing the stats? Of course, Kevin Lankinen in net, 24 saves on 30 shots. He had an .800 save percentage, and yes, he did let in 6 goals, but at the end of the day, the Canucks ended up winning this one. But let's take a look at the game stats. Colorado outshot the Avalanche, Colorado outshot the Canucks 30-26, 44.3% in the faceoff dot, 27 for 61. Canucks were slightly better, 34 for 61. Canucks obviously 1 for 3 on the power play. The Avalanche went 0 for 3. Canucks outhit the Avalanche 21-11. Block shots were 14-8 in favor of the Canucks. 24 giveaways from the Avalanche to the Canucks' 8. And then the Canucks had 5 takeaways to Colorado's 2. And of course, this was the last game in the series between the Avalanche and the Canucks for this season. Canucks managed to win the last one, having dropped the first 2. First on November 9th. Secondly, on December 2nd, they were able to at least somewhat salvage this series. They still lose 2-1. But let's take a look at shots on goal per period. Canucks outshot the Avalanche 12-7 in the first, 8-6 in the second period, and then the Avalanche outshooting the Canucks 17-6. So the Avalanche end up coming back after the Canucks kind of took over a little bit in the first and second periods when it came to the shots. But all around, a very entertaining game, to say the least. But let's get into your comments now. G is going to join me momentarily as I get all this sorted.
What's up?
There we go. We're all good now.
This was a crazy game.
Yeah. I'm kind of disappointed.
This was a crazy ass game, man.
Yeah.
So you're kind of disappointed what?
That I didn't, fully invest in the game like I should have. I mentioned to you earlier that I kind of missed most of the first because I was still sleeping. I had a bit of a rough one at physio yesterday. I was pretty sore. I actually have my blue tape on my wrist. So yeah, but at least I had the game on in the background.
How's the recovery?
And it got exciting. It's going okay. Like I said, I got the blue tape on. Don't have my brace on right now. But it's getting there. It's getting there for sure.
Yeah, this was one of those games that I honestly thought was like when I turned it on and when Sisson scored, I was like, this seems like a trap game. I was looking at the betting odds.
I was about to say, yeah.
I was looking at the betting odds and it was just unreal because the Canucks were up 1-0 and it was still paying like positive money for the Avs to win or pretty close to it. And I was like, this has to be some sort of trap game. And I had a feeling that the Canucks would win today. And just, I don't know. Like my usual bets, if you guys have followed me in the past or have talked to me about it, I usually go for the Canucks games. It's a tie, and then the Canucks would win, or now it would be the Canucks to lose, but somehow the Canucks would get a point out of it. And I feel so stupid because I could have cashed out, but I didn't. It's when you have I had confidence in the Avs to come out of this. I threw in a bet for the tie and for the Avs to win in overtime when it was 6-3, I believe. and then or even 6-4, I can't remember. But and then they came back and tied it. And I looked at my phone, I was like, holy shit, this is already double my money. And just as I'm about to cash out, the Canucks score. Like the Canucks always try to like fuck me over on these bets. So, anyways, I thought, this was a great game. This was a very entertaining game. It's great that Sasson's back. Love, how he plays, and it looks like his usual. He's coming down the wing, kind of on a half breakaway, and he just snaps it a little bit. So if you look back at most of his goals this year, it's been exactly the same move. So to end off the season, it's great. But for next season, people are going to have tape on him, and he's not going to be able to get those goals. Just saying. But I'm happy for the guy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. And Besser, you see right there, Besser. That's the only shirt that I have for Besser.
Yeah.
Just absolutely unreal. Looking at that shot when it was when he got his second goal, that snipe is the old Besser shot.
Oh yeah.
Like if you notice it, it's like boom, like top cheese. These are the goals that we need. Like Besser's, I think he's more freed now, given that the Canucks are bottomed out. I mean, they could have been 32nd, claimed 32nd today if they lost or even tied. But they had to go and get a win and hold it off another day. But, if Besser plays like this next season, high hopes. And I think Besser works very well with these kids. And to have a leader like this, I think on Clay's show yesterday, PJ was talking very highly of Besser, and I believe it. Like this guy is like a character, Vancouver. I love Vancouver kind of guy, and in terms of leadership, I think he's been trying very hard the last few years, and it's great to see him finally get a hat trick this year. 21 goals. Finally have a player that's cracked 20 this year. The next closest person, I don't even know who. Like PD's at what, 13? Or is it 15?
I can't 50. I think Doc's at 18.
Yeah, Doc's at 18. So I mean, you know what? If we can get 3 20-goal scorers with 8 games remaining, that'd be great. That'd be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Because I still remember that one season. I think like when the Sedins were playing, there was only one player that had more than 20 goals. But they didn't bottom out either. But this team bottoming out and still have 20 goal scorers, that shows there's a bright future. And like we always do, we just try to sell hope, right?
Yeah.
So this game was Ogren. Seeing Ogren, it reminds me of one of your videos when Ogren just came and you did that video. Man, this kid is just it looks good. Like this, like with Buum, Ogren, like this trade is looking better and better every day. And with time, these kids gelling together, they're gonna look dangerous in a couple years. Like very dangerous.
Was it that Grand Theft Ogren video that I did?
Yeah. That was the one that made me think of you. But yeah, like this team, like it's just unreal. Like going against the Avs and holding them off. I thought it was gonna get tied up. That's why I didn't cash out. I thought it was gonna get tied. I thought the Canucks were gonna lose it in Canucks fashion, but they held off. And at least this is one game that we'll look back at this season and say, hey, this one game was worth it. This one game was worth, the whole tanking, and you saw the effort, and you saw how the team rallied together and just didn't let Avs get back into it. Even, I mean, Lanky giving up 6 goals. Yeah. I'm sorry?
Imagine if this game was at home. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? The Canucks play better on the road. Like they don't play good at home.
True.
They've had. I've seen. Actually, you and I have gone to a game where they won, right? Oh no, wait, they lost.
Yeah, that was a good. I think
That was a good
wasn't it
game
that
too.
game they won against the Oilers. I mean, this is way back in October, but
Yeah, but you know the effort. This is what I've been talking about all this time. Is letting the kids play and allowing them to just do their thing, and then the rest will happen, right? Like it just.
yeah, for sure.
I was questioning the line of Sessom, Bluger, and Carlson to start the game. But once it came on, how many seconds was it? It was the first shift and they got a goal.
Mhm.
It just proves a lot. And it proves a lot, say, like towards how versatile Carlson is and how he can play with anyone.
Mhm.
So this is one of those players that is a play driver, is someone that you can commit to. And with Bluger playing with these kids, he can mentor them. He likes Vancouver. Hopefully he re-ups. So you know what, not getting him for anything at the trade deadline is fine. I mean, if they have this plan in place to have Bluger here for another 2-3 years, then yeah, this is a great person to mentor the kids because he has that fight and he has that passion. I mean, coming back from his injury, he's already saying like, you know, we got to keep fighting. Doesn't mean like, you know, it doesn't mean anything right now that we're losing, but we still got to fight and win these games, right? So that's why Bluger is such a great addition. But with, I don't know, Marcus Pettersson, he had a great game today, but I don't know, you know, how that's gonna go. Because at the end of the season, end of the year, end of everything, it's really dependent on who's going to be coaching next year, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, PJ was saying, you know, of the three, you got Alvin, Rutherford, and Foot. How many of those three stay? He says one, so he's obviously hinting on Rutherford, but he was also saying that it could be all three. So if it blows up and all three are gone, then it's really dependent on the coach and how, like, you need a coach that can you know, motivate these kids to have better habits, and also a better, you know, dressing room, locker room culture that allows them to flourish as opposed to suppress them and what Foot did in the beginning. I'm still going to harp on this. I know it was the beginning of the season, and you know, like Karamaki getting benched was just stupid, right? So you got to allow the kids to make mistakes, and there's no other time better than now, right? So coming up to the next season, if they bottom up, great. You know, there's another high pick right there. If not, you know, if they can make it, like I was saying, get some playoff experience, let the kids feel and understand what playoffs are about, and that just brings more culture and just brings more experience, and for them to, you know, continue the run later on down the road when players have developed and they can get more key pieces, right?
For sure. Totally, 100%. And I just noticed there was a couple questions from Duo. I just wanted to answer them. Was your specialty always post-game shows, or did you do these more recently? I did like game recaps when I first started out, like before I met, you know, Gerald and whatnot. I did like quick little like recaps. They were like probably 20, 30 minutes long. So they weren't like an hour, 30 or 2+ hours. They've obviously come a long way since G and I've started doing them. So, but I've always thought of doing post games, or I like I said, I called them game recaps about a year ago. They weren't post game shows; they were more like game recaps, quick little recaps, not as in depth. But obviously, you know, a year going, I've, you know, obviously gotten a lot better with like the stats and whatnot. So, but yeah, these were always something that I was going to do for sure. and I believe there was another one from Duo asking about a draft lottery special. Yes, I will be doing one. I can't speak for Headspace, but I know I'll for sure be doing one on May 5th, like a live stream for that for sure. So be on the lookout for that. A little over a month from now will be the draft lottery.
I'll have to talk to Irvin about that, because let me take a look. March 5th is going to be a Tuesday. And it's probably going to be during the second intermission of one of the games. So I don't know. I might jump on because I have basketball on Tuesdays. So it might not work. But if we'll definitely be doing a pre-draft show of some sort. Big Brain Rain really wants to give his input on that. And we'll be working something out. Definitely on Headspace with Rain, if not with also Tyler.
Yeah. All I know is that I know for sure.
Sorry, May 5th. May 5th. May 5th.
Yeah.
Is a Tuesday.
I wasn't going to say anything, but Justin went ahead and did that. But, I for sure will be doing some sort of live stream on May 5th. Like I said already, when I first announced it, if I'm obviously, hopefully by then I'll be back to work, I'll book that day off just so I can do it. This is like trade deadline stuff, free agency type of deal. So I'll for sure be doing a live stream on May the 5th. The Revenge of the 5th, or if you guys are Star Wars fans, of course, May the 4th.
It's
May the 5th, but
yeah. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, overall, let's continue on this post game. It's just, Ogren, I think is another engine that we should kind of talk about. Like Ogren, Carlson, like these Swedes. Definitely, like when we were talking about Swedish touch, is having PD have these players, these better wingers, and these kids are panning out right now. I mean, it's still early to say, but. You have these two great wingers. Ogren has really good vision. Carlson can drive the play and also dish the puck. So why not put him with PD? Like which still kind of it still baffles me a little bit. Like why keep playing PD with DeBrusk? I mean, even though there was that goal that PD got DeBrusk today, but still. And have you ever noticed that the Canucks play a lot better when Kane is out of the lineup?
Yeah.
The last time Kane was out of a lineup,
I think they won, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it a coincidence, or is it, something that needs to be done? That is another question we should be talking about, or asking at least.
Yeah.
Because it's a team full of kids, right? A team full of kids, and without Kane, these kids are freeling and wheeling, man, and they're just going at it. And
definitely,
which was why I was so pissed off during the trade deadline, is because they didn't even get a bag of pucks for Kane. Like, come on, man! Like that's a roster spot that you could have Sasson, you can have Hoglander in. And then you got Curtis Douglas. Like, it makes more sense if you let Kane go, right? But now we're at the end of the season. Whatever it is, what it is. It's full tank mode, anyways. Just let it be and let the kids enjoy playing these games, right? I mean, they're not meaningful games in April, but at least you can see like they're gaining, they're building chemistry, and it's a good thing.
Well, I would say it's meaningful for the young kids, despite them being at the bottom of the league. It's meaningful to them, at least. They get a chance to prove themselves. So
yeah. I actually have a picture I want to show you guys, but give me a second here. Because today, Today is April 1st, right?
Mhm.
So let's have a little chuckle right here.
Oh, was this posted earlier today?
Yeah, so this was early this morning. So Canucks GM Patrick Allvin announced left winger Evander Kane agreed to terms on a 4-year, $19 million extension through to 2030 season.
Oh, these fuckers put it on
Yeah.
their X account, didn't they?
Like this was hilarious when I saw it this morning. And that's not it. There's another one right here. If this happened, tell me what you guys in chat thinks.
Did they do this as well? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling
So
through X.
Yeah, given that it's April Fools, let's have a chuckle right there. Without him in the lineup, the kids win today. So, that proves this to be very, very false.
Oh, it looks like they got rid of it on their X account.
No. It was never on their X account.
Oh,
it was never
wasn't?
on their X account. No, it was not. Yeah.
Imagine if they had done that, posted it on their actual X account.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Canucks PR would do something that brash. It's
Yeah, they might not
imagine
have the cojones to do it.
Yeah, imagine if that actually happened. So.
Yeah, imagine if they actually did post that on X. That would have been something.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really think Kane is like he needs another start. I mean, if he wants to continue playing, it's not going to be for a team that's rebuilding. It's not going to be for a team that needs roster spots, and he'd be taking up one of them. So there has been rumblings about him, maybe even a PTO, but I don't see the fit. Much rather give it to the kids and let them play it, because if they can play like this, like how they played tonight, this team looks pretty good. It just has to do with coaching and utilization of the lines and how to let these kids play as opposed to rewiring them and changing who they actually are, like how Talkett used to do it. I think Adam Foote kind of is doing that, and it's not good for development.
For sure. I'll admit, I was a little puzzled them putting Karlsson back on the third line after he spent the last 2 games on the first line. I know Karlsson didn't really get any points last game, but I thought they'd try and keep that going for at least more than 2 games. The whole Swedish line, and like you putting DeBrusk back up on the first line, kind of puzzling. But I guess it kind of worked out with Karlsson on the third line with the kind of night that Bluger had.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think DeBrusk is a great guy. It's just not working. Like he needs to play with better players that set him up, as opposed to he's also not a play driver. But we also said that about Besser, and tonight Besser showed he proved to be a leader on and off the ice. What he said, post game, that short interview, we just can't let them back in. They're chasing, but we still got to play our game and continue to fight. And I love that about him. Just love how he's saying it and also doing it. So he's talking the talk and walking the walk, unlike a lot of people that are out there. Not naming anyone, not saying anyone specifically, but yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I'm kind of wearing like the reverse Besser jersey. It's Miller, but if you flip the 9 upside down, it's 6, number 6. But I know there's been a lot
Bro,
of that talk about like what?
You have 2 Miller jerseys?
Yeah, one that's signed, one that's not. Well, because
Okay.
I bought one after the trade because it was $100. It was cheap, and then I got the second one from my uncle. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, I never got a Besser jersey. I only got a T-shirt. There was a year, I think it was just a year before, not this last offseason, but the previous, and there was rumblings about him being traded at the deadline. And that summer, his jerseys went on sale. They're under $100, and I never picked one up because I was thinking, yeah, he's gonna be leaving. I should have picked one up because it looks like, and you have one?
I have an old one with the Vancouver arch on it. That is one of the best ones I have. So
yeah, because I don't want to jinx this, but it looks like Besser is probably going to be a lifelong Canuck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's great because you need these character guys.
Yeah.
Unlike the quitter, apparently. Which hint, we should be talking about him soon, but yeah, like it's just you need character guys like Linden, Naslin, Besser that hopefully Besser's number gets hung up in the rafters at some point in his, like at the end of his career, and that'd be amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he could definitely be someone I could see getting the jersey retired for sure.
Yeah, I see a 53 back there hanging on your door. I think it's time to change the name bar on the back after tonight's game.
Yeah.
It kind of sucked. I wanted him to get a hat trick tonight too, and he had a chance. He had a couple chances, but it just didn't pan out, and Besser got it. So
I think they said that was actually. I think they said that was the first time he scored 2 goals, as a Canuck.
Yeah. Jake, I think, did play with Pasta at some point, but they had to move him down and then end up benching him, and so.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he at one point played with Pasta, but isn't Pasta a winger himself?
Yeah, it would have been centered with someone else. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe like a Zaka or something, or maybe even Bergeron.
No, not that high. Probably not that high. But yeah.
Yeah, probably Zaka then.
Anything else that like for the game that you thought stood out?
I don't know about standing out. I did kind of touch on it a little bit when I was doing like all the goals. Wasn't really a fan of that Parker Kelly goal where he just kind of like walked in and shot it past net, I think, and probably wanted that one back. He probably should have saved that one. But I don't want to, be down on Lankinen too much. But that one stood out for me.
But to be honest, like the Canucks played as well as they could today. There were some defensive laps when the Avs caught back, but you can't expect them to play a full 60 defensively sound at this point with this coaching, right? So they lucked out winning a game. And it was against top dog in the whole league, not just the West, in the whole league. So just looking at the Avs lineup going down it's scary looking at their lineup.
Oh yeah.
Especially after they got Kadri back and they had who was it? Why am I blanking on him? I can see his face right now. From the Islanders.
Oh no.
No.
Oh, Nelson.
Brock Nelson. Dude, Brock Nelson is just clutch. It's money. Like I'm so happy for him to be on the Avs right now because he just fills it up. Like he completes the team, and then with Natchez on the wing, it's like this team should be unstoppable. Like this is an anomaly to have the Canucks win 8-6. I think they're just like, yeah, last team in the league. We don't have to really give a shit. But I think at the end of the day, Makar makes a huge difference for this team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the skating abilities and all of that, play driving, but you have to give some props to what's his name, the new guy that slotted in.
Oh, Malinsky.
Yeah, Malinsky.
Yeah.
He's been doing very well of late. He's doing very well. I think he's been somewhat on a point streak, and he got a couple goals today. Like you got to be happy for that guy. So even though Makar's out, you can see how much depth the Avs have, which Canucks don't. And this is why they're top dog in the league, right? So just imagine. I mean, this is only over a handful. Actually, no, it'd be about 9 years since the Avs were on the bottom. I think they had 49 points that season, and now they're top of the league contenders that have a huge chance of winning the cup, but as long as they don't play like this tonight, right? One game like this is fine, but in the playoffs, that's going to kill you. The whole momentum.
Oh yeah. And I see people already talking about their goaltending after tonight. If they go into the playoffs with this type of goaltending, like that's not a knock on Blackwood or Wedgwood, but tonight's not looking good for their goaltending, considering Blackwood, got the hook. But still, I would say Blackwood, he's still relatively young. I heard them talking about him on the podcast and how, there was that one shot where you could see his eyes looking at the bench because he did something. Apparently, they don't like him handling the puck or the way he handles the puck, behind the net.
Yeah.
And you could see him like looking towards the bench, thinking like, is Bednar gonna, pull me out because of that?
Yeah, like it's just if you shouldn't be doing it, then why are you doing it? Kind of deal.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I remember back in the
also
day, Marty Brodeur did a lot of that too.
But it may also just be, instinct thing to do where he can't help himself. But I don't know too much about, Blackwood or the Avalanche. But yeah, their goaltending might be, in a bit of trouble come playoff time if they're letting in, 8 goals.
Well, I think once Makar is back, it should be fine. Makar stabilizes everything, and next man up, and so everyone moves back down to their rightful position, and it'll be fine, right?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean,
so yeah,
like I said, Blackwood's still relatively young. I mean, just look at what he did when he was first traded towards the Avs. He was on fire. When he first moved from San Jose to Colorado, he was on fire, and so was Wedgwood earlier this season. They were like the top 2 tandem in the entire NHL at one point this season.
And they also gave him that massive, contract extension. Like goalies are very hard to, like, for you to give them an extension is a huge thing because you don't know how they'll end up playing. I mean, they might be on a heater, but how consistent or how long can that stay?
Yeah, especially on a
what's
brand
funny?
New team.
Yeah.
I mean, Lankinen is proof of that right there. Now he had that one.
No, but bro, seriously. No, but Lankinen, to be very honest, I was not too happy with that extension.
Mhm.
But at that point, right at that time, with Demko's injury and all of that, they had to get insurance.
Mhm.
But a 5-year at 5.5 is that's a lot for a
Yeah.
goalie.
Yeah.
Like this is like obviously, yeah, like you have Bobrovsky that's making 10 mil, but he's on the decline now. But to give 5.5 for 5 years, like it doesn't matter if you're committing 5 years, like that's a lot.
For a guy who's really only been a backup.
Yeah. And he really wanted to be a starter, right? And now he has that NMC. Who knows what's gonna happen? Which kind of brings it to this topic that I wanted to ask you is, we asked PJ yesterday what he thought about the three-headed, goalie conundrum, right? And obviously Tolopilo is your guy, but he doesn't see anyone claiming him off the waivers because there's other guys that are big and tall and that are, Tolopilo is 26 already, so.
Interesting.
So it might not be as big of an issue as we think, but the defense in front of him has also been atrocious. So any team might go and pick him up, but is that a big loss for us when we have Medvedev in the wings, Ty Mueller in the wings?
True. Although Medvedev,
Right?
I think, is still several years away.
Yeah.
Like I think we'll bring him in. Like if this ends up being like a 5-year rebuild, he'll come in at like the tail end of it. I that's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah. So I think we're fine at that point. Yeah, so I think by that time it should be fine. But as of right now, we're all very worried about the whole who do you keep kind of thing, right?
Yeah. And I guess also if you really think about it that way, Medvedev comes in tail end of the rebuild. That should be when Lankinen is coming to the end of his contract too, if he stays.
Yeah. And sorry, I said it wrong. It was Ty Young, not Ty Mueller. Ty Young. I don't think anyone caught. I don't think anyone caught me on that, but it's Ty Young. So.
Oh, so he was talking about Ty Young, not Tolo?
No. He was talking about Tolopilo, but what I'm saying is like you have Ty Young, you have Medvedev, in the wings, and you also have who was it?
Koskinen as
Koskinen?
well.
Yeah. So, there's still potential in these goalies that they have, and right now, they're still young. I mean, the oldest is Ty Young out of all of them. How old is Ty Young? Let's see here.
And then they, of course, have Patera right now, but he's likely to be gone after this season.
Yeah, Patera, I think he's done. Patera's 27 this year. Ty Young's 21. And then you also have who else? Let's see here. Yeah, Ty Young's 21 and Koskinen 22. Medvedev is he's like 19. So we have a lot of time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's terrible. Irvin with his play on words.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about? Today's kind of short, even though it was such a big game. Like There's
Well, the less, I mean, obviously a lot of people talk about with going back to Besser a little bit. There's that. No, I'm just so I'm clear. I'm not saying it, but there was that talk about like, oh, Besser can't do it without a guy like JT. Setting him up. Well, I think tonight you can kind of throw that out the window a little bit. Not maybe completely, but he kind of proved some of those people wrong tonight. Being able to get the hat trick here tonight, playing a lot better since the deadline. Obviously, they kind of touched on this on the broadcast. I think that weight's been lifted off his shoulders about the trade deadline being past him. He can focus on the game. But yeah, you can't really say now. I don't think he relied on Miller. He was able to do it tonight without, and Miller's been gone for about it. I know it's not the 40-goal Besser, but perhaps that was just an outlier for that season. He's still, prior to that, he's still at least a 20 to 30 goal scorer, at least. So I just wanted to mention, because that kind of, I thought about that, watching him play this game. A lot of people saying, can't do it without Miller. He proved it tonight.
Well, maybe it's Miller that can't do it without Besser. I mean, look at Miller's numbers this year. Like it's just no. But to be fair, Miller has a on like a good year and then a bad year. Like I'm sure he's going to bounce back this year. As for Besser, I think he's finally adapting to life without Miller, and he's played a lot better since. I mean, during the weeks leading up to the trade deadline, I think a lot was on his mind also. So that's probably another factor that we have to look into for him not scoring or not doing anything. It's it has to do with the mental health of things, right? And just clouded judgments, everything. Yeah, it's fine. I think next year will be okay. As long as he continues this chemistry with some of the kids. I mean, the bro line, hopefully. I mean, even with Doc, part of that I think would be fine. But I don't see Doc staying past the deadline next year.
Yeah, for sure. And Urban's got a good point. Looks like he's found that replacement, that Miller replacement in Rossi, because those two have been on fire. So perhaps he's just replaced Miller with Rossi.
Rossi's a really good player, really smart, great hockey IQ, and I think it's a great fit for Besser. So the two of them plus anyone I think would be fine. It doesn't necessarily have to be Ogren. They've tried Doc with it and it still kind of works. So yeah, I mean, it is just one game. Let's be honest. It's one game. Let's not all get excited and think they're gonna make the playoffs next year. It's a good chemistry builder, and if Besser can reach 25 goals next year, I'd be happy. And if they can be in closer games and still have a losing record, I'd still be okay with that. Because it is part of the rebuild. It's time the Canucks do something about this. It's been what, like 56 years, 57 years now, going on to year 57. Like, we've lucked out, like ever since like 82. Like they've never done a full rebuild. They've always, sort of continued with what they had and maybe had a dark year here and there. The Benning era, the Messier Keenan era. Those are dark times, but it's never been this dark. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So, let's be the Canucks fans that we are. We chose our team, or we live here, and we choose to cheer on our home team. Then let's just continue to do that, because the future looks bright. Just have to be patient, and things will eventually work themselves out.
Yeah, exactly. 100% on that. Obviously the last couple games for at least the Avalanche been pretty high scoring games. I mean, I know they absolutely shellacked the Flames the other night, like 9-2. Then we ended up losing we ended up losing like what, 6-2, and then to the Flames, and then we end up beating the Avs by 8-6. Quite a bit of goals in that 3-game span for both sides.
No, it just proves that this team has the potential, but they're just not utilized right, and it also has to do a lot with puck luck. I think being in the right spot at the right time. Me, like, I'm just gonna share a little anecdote. It's just playing with Alum the other day, like last week. It's been a full week, almost a full week already. I have a lot more respect for hockey players, because it's just, hockey's not easy. Like, you watch them play on TV, you watch them play live, you think everything's it looks easier than done, right? But it's not. And for players to work on their skating, to players working on their timing and all of that takes a lot of commitment and a lot of just time for a sport that they love, right? So even though they're doing not so great right now, as long as you see the effort, things will come. Things will come eventually, and you just have to be optimistic and cheer on the boys, because they're playing a sport that they love, and we're watching a sport that we love.
Absolutely. I think now is probably a good time to do the sponsor read, and then because I know you wanted to share something, so I think now is a perfect time. Let's look. I don't know if you want to bring it up, or I can just read it off my phone. Either works. I'll just bring up the odds for tomorrow. Just looking here. You know what? Why don't we look at the Canucks and Wild, since we know that one. That one's going to be a big one with, Canucks facing Quinn for the first time.
Yeah.
That one's at 510.
Money line, Canucks at 3 plus 310. Wild at minus 395. Yeah, this one's I mean, for those people that watched the game today, the odds are similar. But don't take tonight's game into tomorrow's game. Tomorrow is another day.
Yeah, tomorrow's.
So the Wild are. I mean, the Wild, they've gone through their streak too of losing, and I think that's over. Excuse me. And Quinn went through a long streak, point streak that ended, and he's not as streaky now. So I typically, if Quinn Hughes is playing, I'd be betting on him to get an assist at least. But who knows? I mean, it's Quinn Hughes, right? And I think for tomorrow's game, I haven't looked at his streak lately. It starts in about 18, 19 hours. I would still go for Quinn Hughes to get a point. Let's see here. Popular. They don't have the players' points yet. They only have goal scorers and power play. Yeah, they don't have all the lines yet. But if I were to put a bet, I would put Quinn to get an assist at least, or even a goal, because he wants to show that,
Oh, yeah.
I would put money on Quinn, Z Buem, and Ogren. Actually, Rossi too. But I would probably do Rossi, and because it's more of a homecoming for Rossi, Buem, and Ogren. So look out for Ogren to at least get a point tomorrow. The odds aren't out yet because it's still 18, 19 hours away.
Yeah.
Like even goal scorers, they don't even, have any of the odds for it. So like Tyler always says, it's subject to change. It's not even here yet. But for me, I would definitely, to be safe, I would bet on Ogren to get a point. I want to see him score a goal, but I would get Ogren, Rossi for over half a point each, Quinn Hughes over half an assist, and the Wild to win. So if you link that all up, you're probably going to be getting, for $10, you're probably going to be getting, I'd say about 20. But for the sake of today, right now, the Wild at minus 395. That's not a lot. That's not good money. Like, because even if you just get the Wild for $10, that's not going to be getting you a lot. At minus 395. Hello. Oh. It won't let me do it. So that's weird. Yeah, it won't even let me. Oh wait, this is because it's a builder. Okay. So Wild at 395, $10 gets you 12.53. Not a really good bet. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even want to go the over and unders because I think the Canucks scored all their goals tonight. I don't see them scoring more tomorrow.
No.
So actually, probably Wild minus 1.5 at $10. That would probably be the better bet right there. So Wild to win by 2 goals, $10 gets you 16.02. That is probably the safe bet for tomorrow.
All right, there we go.
Cool.
All right, and as what G said, obviously, 18 hours away from the game, obviously subject to change, and of course, remember to please play responsibly. On that note, this post-game show is brought to us by DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario, restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright 2026 NHL, all rights reserved. This video has been a presentation of both DraftKings Sportsbook as well as the Hockey Podcast Network. Be sure to check out the network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com, the home of hockey podcasts, where it's every team, everywhere.
Awesome.
All right.
Wow, we have more people filtering in. Hey, Stevie.
Yep.
So we got Harry, Stevie, Swerve and Irvin's still here. We got Jay. I think Justin might still be here. Duolingo might have slipped out somewhere, but yeah, thanks for all of you to show up. Appreciate all of you. And yeah, I think Tyler's gonna let me show something on here, just as an exclusive to all the Line Change viewers. We will have our weekly Headspace Hockey live stream tomorrow at 10 p.m. once again. A new BS segment is coming back this week. And our mediator, judge, guest of the week will be none other than Trevor Beggs. I am super excited about this. This graphic might change a little bit. Irvin and I are still tweaking with it, but for the time being, this is going to be the one that I show you guys. So Irvin and I will be doing the BS segment, and Trevor Beggs will rate who's going to have the better argument. And in the meantime, we'll obviously talk to Trevor about more of the mental health side of things. I've spoken to him earlier today about it. If you have questions, feel free to DM us on Headspace Hockey on Instagram, X, Threads. Email us at headspacexhockey@gmail.com. Also on Facebook too. So drop us a line if you have questions for Trevor. Just a friendly reminder, we're not going to be asking, sensitive questions in regards to what's happening. We were just lucky that, well, let's not say lucky. We scheduled this a couple weeks ago before all of this happened with the Canucks and what happened. So whatever Trevor is comfortable about talking about on the situation, we'll let him do his thing. But we're not going to be asking him sensitive questions about details or anything. He'll only share what he's comfortable with. So please, if you do show up to the show tomorrow and chat, please be respectful to our guests, and the rules still apply. Please just respect each other. No homophobic or any sort of just bullying of any sort. And hopefully you enjoy the interview, because we've been going back and forth with this, and it's been tough because of what's happened lately with the situation. And I wasn't even sure if we could lock in Trevor for the interview, but he is going to be here with us tomorrow at 10 p.m. on Headspace Hockey. So make sure to head on over to Headspace Hockey on YouTube, give us a follow, give us a like, and be ready for Trevor tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Now that's sorry, I'm just munching on a pepper right now, but that's a fire image right there. I love it.
Yeah, we're still working on a new one, and I think Irvin is going to be sending me another one, because I tried to rework it. He wasn't able to get Trevor in the middle, and I got that figured out. There's another one we're trying to have Trevor's back towards us, but his face kind of like this, but he's like looking back. But you'll see it. You'll see the new thumbnail, and I think it's going to be amazing. So
apparently, you guys are on Spotify too.
Yes, because of a lot of users or subscribers asking for a podcast. Swervin Irvin actually has gone through to RSS, and he's uploaded the first episode, our very first live. So be sure to check it out. And you know, if you want to hear the audio side of things, then head over to Spotify. I believe it's on all platforms now. It should be on Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube Music. So be sure to check that out if you want to re-listen to one of our episodes. The first 4, as Swervin Irvin has just said, are posted already. So be sure to check that out. Yeah, we're excited. Like tomorrow is probably like the big. This is going to be one of the big lives that we've been looking forward to. I know Irvin is super excited. He's been messaging me, and he's so happy that we decided to do the YouTube channel and do all of this, because it gets us connected with a lot of people in the industry, like Trevor, like you know, hopefully there's other Canucks alumni that we will be talking to. I know, you know, there's been guests on Tyler's show that will, you know, potentially have, like Matt Sakaris, hopefully Harmon Dial, Trevor, or sorry, obviously Trevor's tomorrow, and then we'll also have David Quads at some point. So be sure to check that out in the upcoming weeks. Just to give like a precursor, even though the season is over, we'll continue to do our live streams weekly, but we're more going to be focusing on the mental health aspect of things, and we'll be talking to, you know, all the sports media outlet people, like the reporters, you know, on how they got into things, and you know what stresses that might come with the job. I mean, if you're interested in doing content for Canucks or content in general, what's it like? So we'll be running through a lot of the mental health side of things for that.
And then Irvin's just asking me to share the new thumbnail off your guys' page. I have it right here. So,
okay. I haven't even seen it yet. So
there we go. It's right there in the corner, right there.
Oh, so he actually got he did put it
corner, as you mentioned, like with the whole like his yeah, it's right here. Heavy as the head. Both. You guys might have to teach me a couple of tricks. I love all you guys' thumbnails, the way you guys do it. Like this one over, you know, 3 of us looking like we're on the bench. That was really cool.
This one, yeah.
I just wanted to let you guys know. Yeah, the third one, I really like that. You know, I can even see a little bit of like a DraftKings logo on the jacket that I'm wearing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, Irvin started this, and so we're gonna continue using these cartoonified thumbnails. I've been working on some of them too, along with Irvin. So we're still learning how to do all of this, but we just want it to look attractive, right? Like if people see it, they'll be like, "Hey, that looks pretty cool. Maybe let's click onto that." So
yeah,
I really enjoy them, especially like you know the one down the second row, the second picture. With that huge night that we had here on the line change and Headspace, where it was Irvin, myself, with Tyler in the line change, and Russ and Big Brain Rain. Like that was a really fun night, just to have everyone, you know, like content creators or not or supporters of content creators, also to be on the stream live. Like that's why we created this, because as you all know, like Clay is the godfather of all of this, and you know we respect the hell out of him. But given his shows are only an hour long, and we would be in chat, and we would only have limited, you know, time, even on open mics, to voice what we want to say, we decided why not open one ourselves and go for it, because you know Tyler and I've been doing these post games for a while now. It's been God, it's been since October, right? End of October.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. So it's been bro, it's been it's been exactly like 6 months. Like it's been 6 months of doing this, and it's been a blast. And like I said, these post games, I'll be here with Tyler if my schedule permits. But I'm also glad that we also have headspace on the side just to talk about, you know, not just recaps, but you know, more of stuff that is circulating around. We'll be talking about. I know next week we might be bringing up another talk. I'm not gonna say it here, but we have another thing that's come up recently that we might want to talk about. It's about the future, about the Canucks and all of that. So hopefully you guys enjoy that, and with the guests that we bring on, you know, hopefully it's entertaining for you, because it takes time, and actually, you know, ever since doing Headspace Hockey and promoting our channel and talking to different people and trying to make connections, it's actually not as easy as it seems to just go on and cold call a guest or cold message a guest, or you know, if you're lucky enough to see them, like talk to them and explain to them why you're doing this. You know, it's like doing a whole like a business proposal of some sort, and be like, hey, are you interested in coming on to do this with us? So I'm glad all of you are on this journey with us, and I'm pretty sure Tyler has the same issues that come up on how to get guests, and how to lock them in, and to work out the schedules and all of that. So it's not as easy as it seems, but definitely when it comes and it happens, we are excited, and hopefully we do a good job about it, interviewing our guests. But it gets nerve-wracking for sure. But you know, practice makes perfect, and I'm super grateful that Tyler brought me on the line change to sort of get some of the experience before we went on to do an extra channel on the side.
Yeah, definitely. You're 100% right. Yeah, and it's not easy getting guests. You know, I know that firsthand. No, I totally hear you. You know, me getting Dolly, I still have to pinch myself sometimes. The fact that I got Rick Dollywall on. So, but yeah, it's not as easy as it looks, especially, you know, when it comes to, you know, like what you guys talk about with the whole mental health thing. I know you and I had a bit of a conversation earlier, you know, about me being a little demotivated lately, due to, you know, views and whatnot. It does get to you at some point, and it's not easy to not let that, you know, demotivate you or anything like that. You know, it's tough when you put in a bunch of effort, you know, with thumbnails, content, and it's not getting the traction that you want. It hits you a little bit. You know, makes you wonder, like, you know, should I be doing this, and am I not doing enough, so to speak. So, but yeah.
No, but of all the content creators, I have to say this, not just because I'm on the line change, but Tyler's probably one of the more persistent and, you know, self-motivated, even though he's kind of going on this little speed bump right here. I don't think there's anyone that works harder to push out content for you guys than Tyler, because he tries to get a video out, at least one video at a day. Just looking at his channel and seeing the amount of content videos that are out there, seriously, like hats off to you, because it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and you do this all on your own, right? I'm lucky because I have Irvin to fall back on, or I wouldn't say Irvin has me to fall back on, because I don't do, like, I've been lacking on all the socials and whatnot. But in terms of making thumbnails, if he can't get it right, then I step in and try to see if I can put some magic into it. But him and I have consistently been talking, on a daily basis on how to make better content for you guys, or how to make interesting segments for you guys. Like, BS is probably our bread and butter at this point. I don't think anyone really on YouTube is doing this, and I hope you guys enjoy it, because him and I might know the topic, but we still need to do the research on both ends of a topic, because we do the coin flip live on the stream. So I wouldn't know what I'm going to be fighting for or arguing for. Neither does he. So at the end of the day, base it on the arguments that we have, on the research that we did, and vote on that. Like, don't vote on what you think personally, like, on the topic. If, like, say, should we keep Adam Foote? Should we let him go? Like, I think that week I won, because I said fire him, and more people are obviously wanting him to go. So don't vote on that. Vote on, the arguments side of things. Like, did I hit the points on, hey, does that make sense for us to keep him or for us to fire him? And Irvin does the same thing. So we put a lot of time into this, and I'm really grateful that you guys are watching. But to make it fair, I just have to say, like, base it on the arguments as opposed to your personal opinions towards the actual topic that we are talking about. And we tell our guests the same thing, even though I might be a little, like, butthurt and bitter that Justin gave it to Irvin last week. I will win this week. So. But we'll see. We'll see, because Trevor at the end of at the end of the day, Trevor is going to be the one that's judging. So, but we'll try to have a poll for you guys too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I appreciate the kind words. Obviously, but I've talked about many times, I take a lot of pride in the thumbnails I do. There's times where I'll kind of give up on doing a thumbnail, and it might result in that video not going up. Because that's one thing too, when you're a content creator, thumbnails are really key. They're the first thing people will see before they click on your video. So that's why I take a lot of great pride in my thumbnails. Also, trying to be as consistent. And also, there's basically two things that are key: thumbnails and consistency. Those are two things that I've learned, having been doing this for a little over a year now. Those are the two key things that I learned are really big. One of them was from a content creator who's amassed a huge following, not Canucks related, but it's not even hockey related. It's a completely different subject, but he's huge on YouTube. And that was the one thing that because I asked him for just some advice, and he's like, consistency is key. So there's that. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate all the kind words. I think I'm up to 1,200 videos in a little over a year, which is probably unheard of for some people. Getting that amount of videos.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And they're not they're not reels. They're not stories. They're like actual full videos that this guy goes on. This guy goes through sleepless nights just going there talking to himself on camera about Canucks. So, I mean, if you're here, if you stumble upon here, you're watching on X, give him a follow on YouTube. Give him a like on these videos. They do help. At least this is motivation for him to continue to do these things. because it'd be a shame for the YouTube Canucks community to lose someone that gets demotivated from doing these, because it's YouTube algorithms are different, right? So it might not push it out. But if you guys are here, you guys are subscribed, you guys have the notification bell on and see when the videos come out. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. Give this guy a like, give the videos a like. At the same time, if you have time, come over to Headspace, give us a like. I mean, it definitely helps us out a little bit, because we love what we do. I'm sure Tyler does too. And, we love doing this for you guys. And all we're asking is for like a subscribe and like, and we'll keep pushing it out. We'll keep finding interesting guests, and hopefully that makes your day or keeps you entertained, right? So that's what this community is about.
Definitely, 100%. And again, I appreciate all the love from, I see it in the chat right now. Appreciate all the love. By no means am I saying I'm like not doing this anymore. I'm just, like you said, I'm hit a little bit of a speed bump. I'm gonna keep going. You guys, or for those of you, you guys know the reason why I do it, and not hockey related. That reason why I do it. Some of you guys know that, so I'm gonna keep going, keep grinding, and yeah, I absolutely love doing this. Doing these post games with G, when we have guys like Justin or Irvin on, or Big Brain on. It's a lot of fun. We get a chance to just talk, and it's really great for me because probably, I don't know, I want to say 5, maybe 10 years ago, I wouldn't be doing this because I didn't like talking to people or talking in front of a camera. I was very shy growing up. But the fact that I've branched out and have a YouTube channel now, so it just shows you growth that I've had.
I mean, we have a saying in Chinese, like, you learn to the day that you die. So why not make use of it? And everything that Tyler is doing right now, it's upgrading himself. It's improving skills, having more in his arsenal, in his utility belt, and it's a great thing. So for all of you people that are out there that watch this and have ever thought about doing content creation, I'm sure if you reach out to Tyler, I mean, you can reach out to me, but I wouldn't be as informed as Tyler because he has that year experience. But I am pretty sure that Tyler will help you out. He'll give you some pointers. And same with Clay. Well, I don't know. Clay, we've built a relationship, a friendship, and he's been top, like first class. Like he reaches out to us and asks us if we need help and stuff like that. And I think it's mainly because of the relationship that we've built. But yeah, like if you've ever heard about Clay's story of how Canucks After Dark started, it started because of a DM, right? And Clay was like, cool, let's do it. Like, it was as simple as that. So you never know. Like, shoot your shots and see. I mean, Matt Sakaris, we saw him at the watch party. Tyler was a bit shy at the time, and I think he's gone a little better now. But I was just like, screw it. I don't have a YouTube channel. Why don't I do it? I was like, Tyler, I got this. So I went up to Matt Sakaris and I was like, hey, this is Tyler. He has a channel, and he'd love to have you as a guest at some point if you have any time. And he was one of the nicest guys. Like, you see him on Sakaris and Price, and he might seem a little scary, but when you actually go up and talk to him, like, he's one of the nicest guys. Like, he'll definitely help if he can. And I think a lot of these content creators, a lot of these people in the media started as a rookie at one point, and they got help, right? So they want to, repay it because I mean, Rick also said the same thing. Rick Dollywall was like, yeah, when I first started, like it was hard. It was super hard. And then connections started. He got these connections and people helped him along the way. That's why he wants to pay it forward and help it back and help us. So yeah, I think pay it forward is one of those things that or mottos that I go by is if someone helps you out, you can't help. They might not need the help, but if you help someone else in need, then you're paying that deed forward. And if that person is able to do the same thing at some point in their career, in their life, then you're making it a better world. I learned this from a movie. I think it's called Pay It Forward. It's with that kid who's this big guy now, from The Sixth Sense. I can't remember his name. But it was with Kevin Spacey, and it was about, paying it forward. Like if you are able to help one person, actually, no, you go out and help people. And if that person that you helped is asking to pay you back, you just say, no, how about you do me a favor and you help 3 other people? So one person helps 3, and those 3 people help another 3. It becomes 9. So it just spreads out like a pyramid of, help and support. And you don't necessarily you might not necessarily see these people ever again, but knowing the fact that you help someone out and they said that they will help someone out, it changes the world. And that's what it's about. It's about just making the world a better place, because right now, I mean, there's stigmas and people get worried and you know what, like, why are you being nice to me and this and that? Like, there is no ulterior motive, right? It's just about helping make the world a better place and to trust humanity as opposed to question it. So if you can take anything out of this video, out of Headspace Hockey, I'm happy. It's not about being monetized or anything. It's just about helping others in need. And which is why Irvin and I are huge advocates for mental health, is because people don't reach out and they just need someone to talk to or some place to talk. And Headspace Hockey is a safe space. You guys can chat and we'll try to help you guys out if we can. And it's just about helping people feel better about themselves and have confidence in yourselves. And look at like how Tyler's evolved this last year, just going from this thick mustache shy guy to a thick mustache beard guy that can reach out to people and get these big guests, right? It's about going out of your comfort zone. I'm not going to continue much longer. Like, I will give more of my ways of life and how to get out of your comfort zone on Headspace Hockey. But I think we'll just leave it at that. And hopefully you guys, like what we're doing and give us a like and support us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to end it off. It's 11:04. Clay's already started. I think that was a perfect way to end it off for sure. And yeah, any last words, G, before we?
Nope, I'm good. Yeah, come over to Headspace Hockey tomorrow at 10 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time, Vancouver time. We have none other than Trevor Baggs on the show. We'll also have another segment of BS, which he will be judging. It's going to be a good one. If you've been a Canucks fan for a while, even this year of this dumpster fire kind of year, you'll appreciate the topic tomorrow. I'm excited about it. Irvin's excited about it. I'm actually a little anxious because I don't know which side I'm going to fight for. But look out for that tomorrow. We'll have some fun. Come in to chat, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, well said, and appreciate it, Trev. Appreciate you saying that, and appreciate everything that Kemper Canucks does too. He grinds as well. But yeah, that's gonna do it for tonight's post-game show. hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, definitely hit that like button, hit subscribe on your way out if you enjoyed this content. And yeah, we'll catch you guys tomorrow for a post game. Probably, I'm still figuring out when. So, but I'll reach out to you, G, on that because I think it's another early game. So we'll see. And I know you guys have headspace,
5
so
o'clock.
we'll try and coordinate it for sure. But it's gonna
game's
be
at
nice
5
to do
o'clock, so it's
back-to-back.
gonna
probably and around the same time.
because the game's gonna end, I think, at I would say about 8 or 7:30 ish. So if we do the post game right away, then maybe, because I also still need to talk to Begsy just before the stream. So I need to be ready for Headspace by like 9:15. So if we can do the post game within an hour, then great. If not, maybe we'll do a later one. But we'll see.
But you and I will talk about that. I do have physio tomorrow too, but that's at 5, unfortunately. So, but it's okay. We'll figure something out. We will for sure have a post game at least tomorrow. If it's not early, it'll be maybe a after dark one. But yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you guys in the next post game, and we'll end it right there. That once again, on your way out, you can hit the like button and hit subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next post game show.